Yeah, I can only imagine. That's just oof.
Yeah, and we're on the way. And Tardew's going to get the boots immediately in his house. Chexhuman misses out by going to Sanctuary. I don't know if there could be a better starting item. Do you?
Yeah, that's definitely one thing that you would love to have right immediately.
Oh, that's great. That's the best item to have. It's unfortunate that Chexhuman's going to miss out on it for a little bit here. We also got a map check, and it looked like we're all crystals here in the light world. Getting that tree pull, just giving us $5, 5 rupees drops. That's actually not that bad. Getting some early cash in there, and we're seeing penguins right away.
Yeah, it's kind of rough to see pin gators this early.
Now that is not something you want to see pretty much at all. Those slugs do a lot of damage. I think they do 3 hearts of damage even with red mail. So Tedder's going to miss out on that treasure box there, but we do have our 5-6 crystal. I believe that was at Eastern.
Yeah, it looks like it was.
An early Bonk Rocks check, since we did find those boots in our first chest. What do we got? Just a couple of bombs. Now here's a question. With Chexhuman's routing, how soon is it that he's going to go get those boots? Because you could skip out on Uncle for quite a long time.
I don't think it'll be too long. I think it'll be a pretty quick follow-up after his initial checks through here.
I hope so, but he does the awesome play of giving a fish to the bottle vendor and being rewarded with a couple of trinkets there, some money. I love that. And we had a lumberjack check. I missed what the lumberjack check was. Did chat see that one?
Looks like it was, according to chat, it was just a big 20.
Okay, and we got a book in the well. Nice place to keep a book. The single arrow, which is always important, and a 50 rupee drop. And there are the flippers in Lost Woods just hanging out.
Yeah, having both your pieces of footwear this early just really opens up a lot in this early game.
Yeah, we got the boots and the flippers right off the start. Our feet are good to go. All right, Chexhuman's giving us our first look at Blind's Hut. So far, just some hearts, a 5 rupee drop, and another piece of heart. Now, with Randomizer, things are going to get a little mixed up. For example, you don't need bow for Eastern, possibly. I mean, we are going to need some sort of weapons here soon, but it does change routing a little bit, so we should see some mix-ups. And Bottle Vendor gives us just 3 bombs. We got a Mimic in the chicken hut. That's what I love about an Randomizer. Mimics hanging out in the chicken hut.
Oh yeah, I don't like the mimics so much. Just love the 50 guards you get in the chicken hut sometimes.
Yeah, little space to move, and you have a red guard chasing you. And we got a blue mail already. So how would you rate Kakariko so far? We didn't get much.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
I think Kakariko just gave us the blue mail and the book. Just $20 hanging out with in the library there on top of the shelf. Somebody returned their book and left the cash. And Chexhuman's going to go directly to the race game. Not even going to check it. I like this when you don't get a lot of Kakariko. Maybe you're betting on something being here on the race game.
Yeah, you want to bet on it. It's not that far out of the way. With the boots, it's even a little bit better.
out on it. It was a good thing that he didn't skip out on it, because that's a really important item. The Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, this is a lot of really good items early. Just of the things that you don't expect to find in your Sphere 1s, you know, Sphere 1 Flipper, Sphere 1 Cane. It's really nice to have that quick. And Chex picking up his boots now, too.
Yeah, it's good that he checked that that spot there. I've seen runners skip out on it. I won't name names, but he's going to make our first check into Mini Moldorm Cave. And there's a Mini Moldorm just hanging out outside of the Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, let's see how bad this cave is this time around. Oh,
not bad at all.
It's a Popo Cave.
Yeah, that's nice. We got ourselves a cape, a shield, a full heart, the flute, and another piece of heart. That's what I would call a hype cave.
I'm really glad to see the flute here. I'd like to see an activation in an early desert check.
Yeah, whenever I get the flute, I always like to check over in a unit because it makes it quick, especially when you got those boots. But this seed is wasting no time. We get the boots right away, and we get a really early flute. So it's going to help us travel and make this game go by quick. Chexhuman is going to check out the Bonk Rocks before he turns in that flute, though. The one thing is we haven't got any progression towards the Dark World yet.
No, but we got a lot of checks still to go. I mean, we've got almost all of Eastern, even though the Dark Rooms are out of sequence, but it's not going to be boat locked anymore.
That is true, yep. Be interesting if we find the lamp. Chexhuman is going to activate his flute, and we're going to get some water checks here. Just $20 on the island there. We got that little crab hanging out in the water. That's always fun. And what's the hobo going to give us? Has he been storing up his cash and he's going to bless us with it?
Maybe a weapon. We're short on weapons.
How about a hook shot? Wow.
Yeah, that's definitely something. That, along with the flute pair, that's going to make, you know, Death Mountain definitely the play here, where probably all your accesses are.
We're going to check Sasha's closet, and we get bombs, 20 rupees, and a 50 drop. We're going to get our first look at the dam here from Tadaru. A full heart container with a bully inside the dam, just waiting to steal our stuff. What's fun about Randomizer is you get to actually kill those bullies. Desert Ledge, we just see a piece of heart, but there's a gloves chilling out in the water. That's one piece that we need for progression to the Dark World.
Yeah, definitely nice to see those gloves early. Chex will probably be back to get him after his desert checks, I would think, hopefully.
Yeah, I imagine he goes from here and flutes over to the dam, and we have ourselves a moon pearl.
Okay, this seat's just way open already. We find a hammer or another set of gloves, and it's going to be kind of nuts.
So in logic, I'm trying to think of what checks do we still have. We have Eastern. We can get up on the mountain, and that actually is in logic because of the flute. So we have Paradox Cave, and we're able to check that. So if I'm one of these runners, that's a place that I'm going to check as soon as I can.
Oh yeah, absolutely. With that access to East Death Mountain, there's no reason to pass up all those checks.
We still have Ice Rod Cave as well. We have the Waterfall Ferry. We have Zora. So there's still quite a few checks. I'm sure we'll find that hammer or glove here pretty soon as Tadaru activates his flute. and it gets ready for his fast travel. This seed is trying to make it as fast as they can for these runners. I don't know if I've ever seen a seed give us boots and flute and so much quick travel opportunities like with the hook shot this early. Chexhuman gonna go check the back of Escape, but it looks like we got a little bit of a freeze there. Does not like that hole. Tedger's gonna go check out Desert. I like this play quite a bit. It's unfortunate that Chex is frozen right now, but it is a pretty funny screen to freeze on. Have him fallen into that graveyard. So Desert is boots locked. Fortunately, we do have the boots. And we got a chicken in Desert just hanging out with a unique item in Paradox Cave as our hint. It's a decent hint, which would make me want to get up to that mountain as soon as possible.
Just all the chickens today, too.
Yeah, this is no longer Desert Palace, it is KFC. Now, unfortunately, he's not going to be a clear desert unless he finds a fire source here. And we got a bottle of blue goo to go along with everything else, which gives us our first look at Sick Kid, which is a really quick check with the flute. So that's nice.
Alright, so Tadaru going ahead and picking up their pearl.
And he's going to make his way, I'm guessing, to Death Mountain, because we know that there's a unique item there. But he's going to turn in the bottle. The sick kid check is real quick with the flute.
Yeah, can't pass up with the flute to 3. It's just super quick.
And we're figuring it out with checks. It looks like his string will be back up soon. There is a 20-minute delay, but he is aware of it.
Tadaru not brave in the dark room, but with no sword or no boomerang for easy echolocation. I can't really blame him.
Yeah, you don't know what's in there. It's not a bad check if you know that there's just bats, but with anything in there, and no sword to even guide you. It's a dark room that's not always the easiest. And he's going to take a look at the hint here as he picks up his 3 bombs. What we've got, a unique items in Mini Moldrum Cave. So we know about that one. That's not the easiest of bomb jumps, so that was nice. Nice bomb jump there. And we see Keen and Berna just chilling up there on Spectacle Rock. Wonder if that's an item we end up skipping today.
Depends on what we're going to find over here as this unique item. If it's a mirror, probably not. If it's a hammer, I would definitely say so.
Death Mountain can have even more death with it, with all these different enemies we've seen. So we got our first look into Paradox Cave. What are we going to find? Alright, back it looks like we got the bow. So there's our unique item.
Yeah, not required for Eastern anymore. Still needed for Pod. Still needed for Pod, basically. But
Yeah,
still nice to have.
And Ganon's Tower. We need it for Ganon's Tower. Oh, I guess not technically, right?
Oh, that's a Lionel.
Yes, it is. Fortunately, we got that cape. Can we get around that rock? We can. Nice. That's a small room for a Lionel to be in. Was it Bombos we see there on the floating island?
Didn't get a good look at it.
And the always fun Spiral Cave added with just a little bit more fun with these enemies. We see a bully there trying to steal our arrows. We got Chexhuman back. He's giving us our first look at Pyramid. We get a shield and some arrows. Excuse me, Waterfall Fairy. And we're going to get our first Zora check.
Yeah, we'll have to get caught up here once he gets a menu check and see exactly what he does and doesn't have.
And Tedru's going to actually... Oh, he picked up the lantern. So he's going to grab the old man here.
More importantly, Chex has a sword.
And Zora just dropping bombs for us. Very, very expensive bombs. So where did he get that sword? Did he dip into Eastern? I wonder.
Got the hook. Doesn't have the bow yet.
And the old man rewards us with a blue boomerang. Question is, what was he doing with that? Alright, so the lantern and the bow seems we're both in Paradox Cave, which we missed. We'll see that on Chexhuman side as he makes his way through Death Mountain. And Tedru's going to give us our first look at Eastern. But we have the cape, we have the lamp, we have a sword. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, that means Aga 1 is on the table.
Yeah, because I don't think we're going to find a hammer or a glove here. Our first check in Eastern Palace gives us 20 rupees. Just a little bit richer. And Chet informing us, yeah, he does have red mail. Chexhuman has red mail, so I'm guessing we're going to find a sword in red mail here in Eastern. No. There's two 20s. Oh, you know what? He checked escape. We didn't see the back of escape. So I'm guessing those items might have been there.
Yeah, it could be the back of escape, front of escape, a couple other things we may have missed as well. But we'll get caught up to with it on Tadaru's side, definitely.
But all signs are pointing to an Aga seed for this. And what's going to be interesting is Tedru actually might be able to clear Eastern. We'll see. And Pyramid Fairy is donezo. Know that we don't need that.
Tadaru gonna dip down for the life real quick. Can't blame him on that.
Yeah. Again, with Randomizer, you could come up against something that can just instantly kill you, even with blue mail.
You never know when there's a chain chomp behind that door.
Yeah, that's right. Shoot, even something like the rollers can do quite a bit of damage. Alright, so in Paradox Cave, we get a bomb, we get a heart piece, we get 10 arrows. We know one of these will be the bow. And there's the bow, and there's our lantern. Tedru's going to pick up his big key here. This room a little bit easier since you don't have to damage you boost yourself to get on top of that switch. And Chex gets to face his first Lionel. Alright, so we got all three items here in Eastern. Just $40 and 3 bombs. Not yielding much.
Yeah, so the sword's probably somewhere in escape then, along with the red, like
Yeah,
we mentioned.
It's good call, and we got a bully chasing us around this dark room. The bullies are one of the more fun enemies in Randomizer, I think. Just taking all our bombs and arrows. Dad, you're having a heck of a time with those bullies, and they're dodging.
Yeah, finally manages to get through.
That was great. That's exactly what you want to see from Randomizer. All right, Chexhuman's gonna meet up here as well, and we're gonna have 2 players in Eastern Palace at the same time, which makes sense. The bow led us here. Now, we might not be able to beat whatever's behind this upcoming door here, but we'll get our first look at what our first dungeon boss is here in just a moment as we deal with this room. Oh, what a room. 2 Henoxes, 2 mini Helmosaurs, and what are those wiggly guys called? Squiggly wigglies?
Not quite sure, but he deals with it really well with the bomb strats. Especially, thankfully, it's the Henox is just dying to 1 bomb.
Yeah, that was huge. That room can be tough. And we've got ourselves a moth. But I don't think Tedru can deal with it here.
I don't know
He
who
doesn't
can
have a
damage
sword
it.
yet. It can, but I don't know if he's gonna have. He doesn't have enough magic.
You got blue pot.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever seen Cane of Samaria strats for a moth before. Come on, moth, just run into our block, please.
You can get a really nice just pin down to the bot with Moth with this.
The real question is, how many shots does it take? Alright, not too bad. Tedru takes him down. As rewarded with the map. So, I think we still got probably the front of Escape, my guess, and Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Ice Rod Cave. We got the escape sequences. That's really about it, though. I mean, I guess you can get into the back of Desert now?
Yeah, we can get all the way through Desert. Just can't get to the boss.
Yeah, I think we only found one item in her.
Oh, actually, we can. We've got the lamp now, so we can actually get to the boss of Desert. Yeah. That might be worth a check. And Chexhuman gets to take on the bullies here and just runs as fast as he can right into their faces. I like it. Tadaru is going to give us our first look at the back of Escape here. And what do we got? Got 20 rupees, another 20, and a red mail.
Still haven't found that sword yet, but we got the keys, so Tadaru's gonna backtrack.
Yeah, maybe it's here. I don't know if it is, because that means Chexhuman would have done this in the dark, and this is not an easier check to make in the dark with Randomizer.
Oh yeah, this is one of the places I'd hate to be an Randomizer in the dark. There's no.
That's number one reason. 3 red guards chasing you. And you get 10 arrows. And Chexhuman's going to have a little bit easier of a fight here with Moth as he takes him down with the sword.
Yeah, no spikes, no rollers. That's an easy fight.
Yeah, picks up his first crystal, 27 minutes. Tadaru's going to go pick up this one chest that he missed because he got killed by the slug here. And there it is. That's our first sword.
Hey, bomb slugs are scary.
They're super scary. Like I said, even with red meal, they do quite a bit of damage. The nice thing about for Chex as he dips into Desert is he possibly can clear this all out. We know that he can get to the boss. We just don't know if he can actually kill the boss. We'll see what the boss is.
Well, he's got a pretty good chance. I mean, he's got, what, 8 in 10 chance of being able to kill the boss?
Yeah, that is true. I'm guessing Tadaru did the front of Escape as well, but we'll see. We get a heart piece here. Hinox is everywhere.
If I've got to pick an enemy to see from the Dark World anywhere, though, Hinoxes are definitely one of the ones I'd be okay with.
Yeah, they're so passive. I mean, they're throwing bombs at us, but it's like they're not really throwing it at us. They're just sort of sharing them with everyone. Now, these little things, I'm not a big fan of them because they do quite a bit of damage as well. I don't know what they're called. Shark mouths guys. I should learn the names of these enemies.
Yeah, but a lot of them are really weird. Like, Pokies are Hoku Bokus. That's just a mouthful to say.
Are they really? That's the official name?
Yeah.
Wow. So I think the boss in the desert has our last item. And Tadaru finds 10 arrows in Zelda's cell. So where's he going to go now? That's the real question. He doesn't have a lot of checks. We've got, I believe, Ice Rod Cave. And I don't think he's done some of the water stuff either.
Yeah, so I'm expecting a flute to 8. Now he wants desert.
Yeah, I like this play. Go finish off desert. He's already been here. Now he's got the lamp. He can go to the back, and we're going to see if we can clear the boss here. Yeah, the Hinoxes in Breath of the Wild are a little more scarier than the Hinoxes in A Link to the Past. Just a little bit. But both of them are dumb and die easy, so they have that in common. Alright, so Chexhuman's going to give us our first look as the wall opens up here. Demon, what's your prediction?
Try next.
You're mean. You're mean, my friend. Oh, this might be meaner. This is killable. It's not the easiest kill, though. We do have red mail and a bow, so it's not as bad as it could be, but it's still not fun.
Yeah, but even with red mail, they just do a ton of damage.
Yes, they do. Red mail, he got hit by the lightning, 2 hearts of damage. I think the eyeballs do the same. Let's see, but
maybe a little less. I want to say that they do 3 hearts in green, 4 maybe.
But Chexhuman's showing us why he's so good, taking Vitreous down with no problem. It does help not having goo around to damage you. I'm rewarded with a single rupee. We do get our second crystal, though. And Tadru doesn't have as many bombs, so he can't do the bomb toss that Chexhuman did. He's just going to go fighter sword. Let's see if he can take him down. This is going to be tough.
Yeah, full magic. I'm surprised we're not seeing any cape usage here.
Yeah, I do like him pulling out that bow. Vitreous has got to get out of the desert. This cannot be good for the old eyeballs. Send him away.
Yeah, I can just imagine the industrial amount of Visine he'd need after this.
Yeah. And it looks like Chexhuman may be making his play either towards the escape or for Iaga 1. And using the bow, Tadru is going to make Vitreous wish he never came to the desert. He gets his single rupee and his crystal, and he's going to be off. And Chexhuman is going to make the Aga play. So I wonder if he did check Ice Rod Cave while we were missing his stream.
I would assume so. It makes sense with all the water checks.
And Aga Towers can be fun in Randomizer too, because we're going to see a lot of random stuff. So far, nothing too trolly though.
Yeah, this is one of those places where you end up seeing a lot of the shadows and everything.
Tadru going to give us our first look at the Ice Rod Cave. just $50. So I think we've seen everything. I think Tadru still has a couple water checks, maybe or maybe not, but oh, he's getting money so that he can go visit Zora.
Yeah, he's got to farm it off.
This is unfortunate. This is a pretty slow way to get cash. I mean, it's the most effective way without doing the hula hand, which I'm surprised he's not doing.
Yeah, the bomb setup on the back of Escape's pretty easy for Houlihan.
But if you're not familiar with it, this is probably the second best way. And we get a joke hint over on Chexhuman side. So far, nothing too trolly in Aga Tower.
Yeah, it hasn't been bad at all. Overall, the seed's been pretty nice to them, knocking on wood so far as the Randomizer goes.
Yeah, a Moth in Eastern and a pretty relatively easy Vitreous with the items that we have in Desert. So, yeah, not too bad. Tadru gets his $50 so that I think he can get his bombs. Is that what Zora's handing out today? I forget.
Yeah, it was bombs.
Oh man, look at this little maze that Chexhuman's got to navigate through. Pulls out the cave to make it easier.
Yeah, that wasn't nice.
Okay, so after we clear Aga here, we're actually going to have access to the full Dark World map, not including the Dark Death Mountain, but we can go east or west with that hook shot and the flippers. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. My guess is pod, but we don't have the hammer.
Tadaru is a little upset about finding 300 rupees in Waterfall Cave after farming.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, you can't count on that to happen. But, yeah, that's unfortunate. He picks up his 3 bombs with knowledge now that he needs to do Aga as well. So I'm sure we're going to see him make the climb. And I haven't been counting the blue balls. I think I've seen 2 or 3 so far. Chexhuman side. Nothing too egregious yet. Maybe we can get it up to like 7. But we're going to need a miracle here. Nope. I think it was either 2 or 3. It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So we'll have to see where Chex decides to go from here. If he's going to check straight over toward the west half of Lower Dark World, or going to head into pod.
Yeah, and we got our 3 pendants in Ice Palace, Thieves Town, and the green pendant is in Skull Woods. And I think it's just a bottle on the pyramid ledge. Check's gonna pick that up as it contains some blue goo, so not bad. You can either head in the pod or you can take the long way west and go towards Thieves Town. He's gonna make the pod play. I think I like it.
Yeah, I was gung-ho for Thieves Town right until I saw it was a pendant, and that just pretty much makes me nope out after the first 4 chests.
Yeah. So we get a look at Palace of Darkness, and we're going to pretty much clear the entire thing out since we have the bow, so we don't have to worry about it being bow locked. Hammer makes it a little bit more cumbersome, and not having the mirror makes it a little bit slower as well, but we'll be able to get all the chests with the exception of the boss.
Yeah, a couple of unfortunate murder-dactyl placements on the way to pod, but gets through it pretty clean without having to go back and get Kiki a second time.
Yeah, those murder-dactyls do quite a bit of damage too. And pod is bow locked. Fortunately, we've got the bow, so it's going to make this a little easier. Those rollers too, they can be in unfortunate spots, and they can do quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, not to mention now the. Sorry, go ahead.
No, fortunately, it was not really in a way this one, but they can be in very cumbersome spots.
Yeah, Chex realizing that, hey, this would have been bow locked, but Randomizer, it's not actually bow locked.
Okay, that's a helpful hint. We know that we don't have to do the purple chest. Yeah, I keep forgetting that we're doing Randomizer. Yeah, regardless of whether or not we found a key there, we don't have to worry about it being bow locked here.
Nice setup by Chex there, just getting them both in the corner, stunning them up, and letting the bomb take care of it.
Yeah, that was nice. Now, is he going to walk back, or is he going to try to set up a death warp here?
There's a trap right there. Death warp shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, he's just going to hug the spike, I think.
That's one of those times that you're glad to see those enemies right there.
Yeah, only thing would have made it better is if there was chain chomp in there, get it over in 3 swings.
Yeah, real fast. And Tadru gets to take on Aga 1 here. So far, we're just seeing keys from Chexhuman in the front part of Palace of Darkness.
Chex thinking twice about what he wanted to do with this. Deciding to pass up the island chest.
Yeah, it's one of those chests that you can always come back for. If there's a high probability it's just a key, so if you wait till later, you can come back and get it later, or just skip it because it's unnecessary.
Yeah, not to mention if it does turn out to be an item, you can always just come back to it after clearing the dungeon if you can clear it.
Yeah, totally. And he's already got the big key, so we'll see if he does the hammer jump here. Looks like he's going for it.
Yeah, it just makes routing a little bit easier because you don't have to walk all the long way back around.
Yeah, and is rewarded with a map. So far, not seen much in Palace of Darkness. It's our second set of bombs we get. And pod is our other 5/6. There's a piece of heart. Well, that's 3 of our 5 items here.
Yeah, good thing he hammer jumped because that was a health refill that would have took forever to run off.
Yeah, that would. Oh, there you go. There's our hammer, hidden away in the Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, French vanilla hammer. After seeing it being a crystal there and an Aga required seed, it really led me to believe it would probably be found somewhere. So both of these should be key for key, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and so that also means that front chest is also a key, so we can just skip that. So that was a good move by Chexhuman there. As he gets to play a little bit of dodgeball here on this platform. So we'll see if they're able to clear this. I think the only things that we can't beat right now are Trinex, Cold Stare, and
That's it.
is that it? And the only reason you need the bow for Palace of Darkness in Randomizer is this room.
So luckily Tadaru's going to make the same play on pod here, or end up finding their hammer.
Yeah. Smart. I mean, it is a crystal. Very likely place for the hammer to be, or some sort of progression, either the hammer or the glove. If I was doing this, I probably would have headed west and been lost.
Can't really be faulted for though, because you can come around to like Hype Cave and everything. There's so many checks you can get out of the way.
Yeah. Chexhuman gets to take down more Henoxes downstairs in the dark. That is not really having much of a problem with that. And what do we get? Armos Knights in the wrong world. They're in the right section of the world. Just the wrong world. This Randomizer is being too nice to these runners. And Chexhuman gets his third crystal.
Yeah, it looks like Armos Knights take damage from spikes too.
Yeah, I was worried about him there. And it looks like our stream's just a little bit frozen. We'll wait for it to catch up here.
Yeah, but while we're doing that, while we're waiting for it. So you've got the hammer now. What do you think? You think you work? I think you work south and count and clockwise until you get to digging game. Then you just save, quit, flute to 3, and go in that way.
Yeah, I like that play. Save, quit here, go to Hype Cave. That seems like it'd be a good play.
Or not even. You don't even need to do. Yeah, it'd probably be faster. Save, quit, and go. Then come out of Link's house and try to walk back through all that, especially with the murder dactyls.
We'll see if we can get somebody to help us out here. 1 second.
There we go. So Check's on his way to Stumpy.
That means we probably missed Hype Cave. Hopefully we get a look at it from Tadru's side soon. And what are we going to dig up here? Lots of 20s and 5 rupees. And a 50.
Yep, just the 50, unfortunately.
So I imagine we're going to see a play towards... Oh, did he pick up the mids? Or is he going to go up to Tower of Hera? Or, yeah. Yeah, he's gonna go do Tower of Hera.
I mean, you can check Ether, you do Hera. Not the biggest fan of this, with Thieves Town's first 4 and Skull Woods' items on the table, but it's not bad.
Yeah, but it's also a crystal dungeon that you can clear, so it does make sense prioritizing the crystal dungeons. It's just unfortunate that he's probably gonna have to make him another trip, or he will have to make another trip after finding the mitts, unless of course we do find mitts here. Don't have to worry about that tablet. It's just some arrows. Okay, it looks like he found, according to our tracker, the Ether Medallion. Got another Hinox chilling down there in the basement of Hera. Hinox is everywhere. Alright, so we know exactly where the big key for Misery Mire is. That's actually pretty helpful.
Yeah, we can go straight to Fireside, not worry about that right-hand side as long as there's no item over there.
Yeah, especially if we're in go mode. And Tadru's gonna make his way to face the Amos Knights. They're stuck in the wrong world. He's got 25 arrows, so she shouldn't have a problem of running out of arrows here.
Yeah, he'll have that underhand pretty quick.
Just more bombs. And Tadru picks up his third crystal at 52 minutes and 16 seconds. We'll see where he heads from here. Hype Cave seems like a very real possibility.
Yeah, it's probably going to be same thing. Save quick, go to Hype.
And we've got Mothula in Hera. So Randomizer being pretty kind to us with the boss enemies, but we do have a key, which means there is an item downstairs, I believe.
Yeah, it's gonna be a coffee break.
So it gave us a lot early. We are on the hunt for quite a few items still. We need both Ice Rod and Fire Rod. We need the mirror. I think, is that it? Is that all we're looking for now? Those three items?
We do need the mirror. Ice Rod and technically Fire Rod are still both maybes, but not required.
Yeah, that's true. We are playing Randomizer. So, man, but you hate playing Randomizer. You hate not having that Ice Rod, just because you could come across Trinex at any time. Okay,
yeah.
So Tadru's gonna give us our first look at Hype Cave. We got $20. We got half magic, a piece of heart. There's the ether, and a heart. Not the greatest Hype Cave. What are you gonna give it?
Maybe a 4, maybe.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And we see the powder down in the basement of Tower of Hera. So, fetch quests, baby. That's what we're playing here. And Chex gives us the little toss there. That was great.
Yeah. So, Chex walking out here, so he's probably going to go to Spike Cave right now.
And then probably make his way towards Thieves Town.
Yeah, Thieves, Skull, all that check.
Ted's going to pick up his 50 bucks out of the ground. And Chexhuman's going to give us our first look at Spike Cave. What do we got here? Just the 3 bombs.
All the bombs. So
we've seen a lot of those.
Yeah. Do you do bat before you go into the dark world over here?
With the boots, I think you do. I mean, you waited all that time for it, so might as well put it to use. And Tadru following suit for Chexhuman and makes the exact same play. Heads up to Tower of Hera.
Like you'd mentioned, it is a crystal. You can full clear it. Why not?
Yeah. I love seeing that Lionel in this room. And the bat curses us with a fairy in a bottle.
Alright, so we're on the guaranteed hunt for the mirror and the mitts. Beyond that, the fire rod's a strong possibility. The ice rod's still possible.
And we don't know what we need to get into Turtle Rock. And
yeah,
Mire,
or Mire.
So. Chexhuman really wants to get this fish to the bottle vendor. So both Skullwoods and Thieves Town are pendants. Which one do you do first? Do you go down to the Village of Outcasts, or do you do the quick checks in Skullwoods?
I check Skullwoods as far as you can, especially since you have the cane. Then you do the front 4 thieves.
Yep, I like that. But Chexhuman's got his own plan. He's going right to the Village of Outcasts. And there's that roller in a very inconvenient place.
Now, having cast a lot of these, one thing that I see, people need to check all 3 checks and outcasts before you go into Thieves Town. I always see people check 1 and then go right into Thieves Town, and it almost always ends up biting them.
Yeah, you find like a sword or something that would be really useful in Thieves Town. That is also something we are on the hunt for. We will need at least a Master Sword to defeat Ganon, so picking up another sword would not be too bad. And those rollers, again, making it inconvenient for the Village of Outcasts navigation.
Oh dear, they're everywhere!
So Village of Outcasts not giving us anything really useful. We do have 4 items here in Thieves Town, though, and Tadru gets to have his little spat with Mothula here on this platform with a hole in it.
Well, there's our master.
Two items already. And down goes the moth. So that picks up Tedru's 4th crystal here.
Yeah, now Tadaru, he's gonna have to make the same play checks as here. He's gonna have to come down toward Thieves and Skull and make his choice.
So there's 2 more items here in the back of Thieves Town. We'll see how far Chexhuman wants to take this. You don't have the mirror, so if you do want to leave, you got a death warp. The only problem with that is he did pick up a fairy along the way. So we get,
I think,
with Randomizer, we get quite a bit of lag here.
Yeah, I think you run back here and go straight to the boss.
Yeah, that makes sense. But Chex is definitely not listening to what we think, and he's going deeper in.
Yeah, he's gonna head all the way.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. And again, shows us why Chex is playing in this tournament. Probably making the right plays. Tadru picking up his powder now. And this is quite a room. Whiz robes and fire bars.
Yeah, crushers, everything.
We got the cannon. Blocking the hint. He goes down with a single shot, though. That's nice. And we see that another useless hint.
Yeah, unfortunately, we already picked that up from the chess game.
And Teju making the same play, gonna get check Spike Cave and get his rewarded with his 3 bombs as well. And Chexhuman actually doesn't have to blow the hole there, but does it out of muscle memory, I guess.
Yeah, muscle memory habit.
So in Randomizer, you don't have to save the maiden because there's a strong possibility that blind isn't the boss in this dungeon, but we'll see. If you play enough Randomizer, you will see vanilla bosses. So I believe we got 1 item left here in Thieves Town. And I believe it is on the boss.
Yep.
The last key is locked in that chest.
Yeah, the small key itself is locked in the big chest. It's self-locked. So whatever's back here as the boss has got the last item.
What's your prediction?
Vanilla. Let's make a blind.
All right, how about Moldorm?
Three-eyed Moldorm.
And down goes Moldorm. As Chexhuman picks up his first pendant of the game. He gives us a full heart container. So Thieves Town coming up empty. So if you have 3 eyes, what are you called? If you have 1 eye, you're a Cyclops, right? So what would 3 eyes be?
Triclops?
I like it.
Tadaru's not leaving anything to chance. We're getting our pet check right now.
The
Bugnet.
Our Chexhuman goes to the back of Skullwoods first, and we see the big key. So it's a nice little play.
Yeah, if you're checking the front and you have the Cane of Samario, I like going to that chest first to get it out of the way.
And that Pokey giving Chex a heck of a time here in Skullwoods. And Tadru doing almost the same thing that Chexhuman does. We'll see how far he goes into Thieves Town. We know that it's a bust, but this would be Chex's opportunity, or Tadru's opportunity to catch up a little bit to Chex here. We'll see what he does. So far, nothing out of Skull Woods. Still got 2 chests to open.
We haven't found one of the items yet.
There you go.
Beer.
That's a big one.
Alright, so that's off the hard required list.
And the shovel. So Skullwood, or excuse me, Swamp Palace now is fully clearable, pending the boss. Excuse me, Swamp Palace. But before Chex leaves, he's going to make a couple overroll checks. We're going to see what's on Bumper Ledge. It is the mitts. Wow.
Wow, so Bumper's definitely... So that's the mitts. That's another one of our hard requireds off. He's probably going to continue this route north. Going to play Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb.
So we could possibly be in go mode.
Yeah, it's unlikely that both medallions require ether, but it's possible.
Possible.
I think you go Mire here, clear it out, or if you can, and then go Death Mountain.
Yeah, possibly. I might do Mire, then Swamp, then Death Mountain. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see.
No, I'd want to see if it is indeed double ether or double pendant
Sure.
you have.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or medallion, yeah. That way you can go mode swamp.
And we got our third sword on the Graveyard Ledge. So that is helpful as we head into these last few dungeons. And it looks like, unfortunately, Tadru's going to dip further into Thievestown. We'll see if he goes directly to Mocula, or excuse me, Moldorm, or continues deeper. And unfortunately, he is going to go deeper into Thievestown, as we get a look from Chexhuman at King's Tomb. King just hoarding his last 20 bucks.
Little surprised he checks dipping back out into the... Oh, he wants to get... He's getting catfish out of the way.
Yeah, you're already over this way pretty deep. You're never probably going to be this far over anyway, so do it while you're here. I like it.
Yeah. Tadaru gonna go ahead and full clear this. Not gonna find anything for his efforts, but it is off your mind. I just pendant Thievestown and Randomizer. I'm a proponent of first foreign boss, and that's it.
Yeah. And Catfish just gives us a piece of heart. So where does Chex gonna go? He's got a lot of options here.
I want to see Flute to 6 Mire checks.
And that's what he does. You also get to do the Mire Shed and Checkerboard Cave, so... It is Ether.
Ether.
So, again, they technically might be in go mode. We don't know for sure. Do you start skipping chests? Like, do you do the left side of swamp? Or what skips do you make?
Personally, I avoid doing any skips that are going to cost me. So I put off swamp. I go in here to Mire. I find both items since I already know where the big key is. Kill the boss, and then I go straight up Death Mountain, get all my Dark World checks out of the way, see if I can get into Turtle Rock, and then try to clear it.
Yeah, that makes sense. You have all of Hookshot Cave, Super Bunny Cave, and you possibly could clear out, be able to beat Turtle Rock as well. So Tadru gets to take down the three-eyed Moldorm here. We got a Lionel just waiting for us here in Misery Mire.
Thankfully, we have tempered.
Yeah, a lot of close quarters Lionel fights in this Randomizer so far. Tadru picks up his first pendant.
Mother of Moldorms.
Yeah. Wow. I'm surprised Chex didn't just go pick up his big key first.
Again, a lot of muscle memory probably on this. Oof. Only really 4 locations left for these 2 items. Got the cage chest here, the right side chests, and then the boss.
And Tadru making almost the exact same plays that Chexhuman is making, so he's not making up any time, and he's gonna have to make a couple gambles if he wants to catch up with Chex here. He's not too far behind, but he is behind.
Yeah, his play's good, the routing's good. It's just that Chex has made the exact same. Oh, that's helpful. That's the best place I could have been.
Yep. You don't have to do cutscene chests, so that's awesome. So the 2 items are either in the big key chest, the chest right after that, or the boss.
Yeah, so I believe that's the vanilla compass, I want to say.
Tadru picks up his mirror, and he's going to go get his mitts as well. We'll see if he goes and does catfish. That could save him a little bit of time.
Yeah, and we'll see if the mitts are going to drive him off immediately. Chex realizing that that last item's on the boss, can I head straight back there now? Hopefully Tadaru at least keeps going and getting tempered, though.
Yeah. So, I don't think you've predicted any of the bosses right so far. What's your prediction for the boss in Mire here?
Let's make it cold stare. Make it so they have to find one of those 2 items.
Yeah.
Either Bombos or the Fire Rod.
And Tadru is continuing on, so it looks like he will be picking up his tempered sword. We'll see if he skips catfish or not. And more Henoxes. Seems like this Randomizer is trying to compete with Breath of the Wild with all of the Henoxes and Lionels out in the world.
Yeah, this is definitely Breath of the Seed or something. Alright, so Check's coming up in the back here. Tadaru's definitely going to check at least King's 2.
Yeah.
Don't know about the
Catfish.
cat. Hopefully not cat. Hey, it's another Moldor.
Third Moldor. Man, these runners have been blessed with some easy boss fights so far. The early Vitreous was probably the toughest, but they made quick work of it. And it looks like Tadru's gonna go do catfish. which is, again, not unreasonable. You're already all the way over here, so might as well do it. It's just, again, unfortunate that he's not going to make up any time on Chexhuman with this.
Yeah, so gonna have a mirror and a flute. The question is it going to be 2, 4, or 1? I want to see 1.
Yeah, this lets you know, just like you said, do we need another medallion, or is Turtle Rock wide open? But you got a lot of checks here. 4 checks. You've got Super Bunny Cave, you got Hookshot Cave, and then possibly able to open up TR.
Not to mention, remember, there is a medallion up on the floating island, so they're going to have 2 now.
That's right. Tadru just flies over to the shop to get a kiss from the little lady and refill his hearts. And it looks like he's going to do Swamp first. As Chexhuman picks up the mushroom in Super Bunny Cave. So we've got a couple of fetch quests. We've got the mushroom and we've got the shovel.
Yeah, neither of which have been checked yet. We'll have to see if either of them end up paying off in the long run or if they're even needed.
And we're going to get our look at TR here. What is it?
It's Bombos or Ether. He's good. It's Ether. Now, if I 100% pick up this medallion just in case a cold stare pops up.
Yeah, that's super smart. The anti-fairy just hanging out right in front of that chest. And Hookshot Cave gives us nothing, but Chexhuman is going to pick up that Bombos tablet. Now, here's the thing with the fire rod, is we don't need it to complete any dungeons. We may need it for the right side of Ganon's tower.
You can get through it with a bomb jump, and it's a minor glitch, and it's very hard to pull off.
Yeah, I've seen runners do it. It is not fun, and it is not easy. And we get a hint that that sword is next to your uncle. Already picked that one up. Chexhuman going to make the play for TR. So we're going to have looks at 2 new dungeons from both of our runners here. This is exciting. Let's see, Tadru could actually make up some time if he finds something important here.
Yeah, so what he's hoping for is like left side swamp ice rod, and there's a Trinex somewhere.
Yeah. Great. That was a great hint. All right, so our first chest in Turtle Rock is going to give us a piece of heart. Oh,
now, the
wow.
one thing we don't have is we don't have Fire Rod to do. Yeah, so Fire Rod is going to be required.
What do we need Fire Rod for?
Because they don't have a key.
Oh, in Turtle Rock. Yeah. And did you see what Tadru just picked up?
I did not.
He picked up
the ice rod.
So Chexhuman going to make the play to swamp here. And Tadru skipped left side swamp. So see if that is the time save that he needs. Or if that fire rod is hanging out over there. We got ourselves the big key. So we are a fire rod away from go mode.
Yeah, knowing that the ice rod is in here, it is a fire rod and it is 100% hard go mode.
There's a couple of overworld checks that we still have. There's the other tablet over here by the swamp. Oh, and we've got... this is unfortunate for Tadru.
Oh, no.
Chexhuman is not going to have to double dip swamp now because he picked up that Bombos tablet.
And Tadaru's going to duck out without checking the big chest or left side.
Oh, man. Let's hope for his sake that he finds this fire rod really soon. The other tablet just gives us another 10 arrows.
Alright, so we have dig spot, we have mushroom to turn in, at least for checks. Cave south of Grove.
Yep, K45, and what else? Dude, we saw the front, the back, the front of it. We saw all of this cave. That's right.
Blacksmith chains on the table.
That's true. We haven't seen, we haven't seen hammer pegs, smith, or we know what the purple chest is. Tadru thinking about that heart, but red mail and 14 hearts, I think he's good.
Yeah, there's no reason to pick it up with red mail almost, and especially at that many hearts.
Yeah. And we're going to get our first look at the dig spot, and we'll see if Chexhuman actually goes left side swamp. I have a strange feeling that fire rod is locked over there.
He's not going to, but after he picks up the big key and kills the boss, I can't see him not coming back in.
Yeah. You know what else is on the table? Ice Palace.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Tadru can't do it yet because he hasn't picked up his bombos, but it's open for Chexhuman.
Yeah, to answer chat, we're just missing the fire rod because TR is fire rod locked.
And Tadru needed to find ways to make up time, and unfortunately he's going to have to double dip swamp here now.
Yeah, needed to make up time, ended up running smack dab into the cold stair that he couldn't open up.
But our runners are pretty set. The only thing I think they might want is silvers, but you've got tempered, you've got red mail, you've got a ton of hearts, you got half magic. Should make Ganon's Tower pretty much a breeze.
Yeah, they both got, a blue pop plus a fairy. Chexhuman only going to take one lick to get to the center of his Tootsie Roll cold stair pop.
Yes, he is. And this should be a pretty easy fight. Cold stair gets a little away just a little bit, but Chexhuman takes him down, makes it look nice and easy, and is rewarded with a map. So I imagine he goes back in.
Yeah, you come back in and you check this because anything that you can do to avoid ice, is worth it.
Yeah. So Tadru actually didn't go into Mire. He is going to be able to open TR here. But as we know, it is fire rod locked.
But his thinking is I've got 6 checks up here, and compared to 2 in Mire.
Yeah, that does make sense. We don't need to check Pyramid Fairy because we got a hint about it, and the fire rod is not there. So cross that
Yeah.
one off.
Sorry. I believe they said it was a heart piece and some money or something like that.
Yep. So the big chest gives us $100, and Chexhuman's going to make the play to the left side. Tadru here is going to pick up his mushroom, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so.
And be on his way. I wonder why those slugs do so much damage. You think a slug wouldn't hurt you that bad, but those things are powerful.
I think it's just that the size is misleading. How big would a slug have to be to poop out full-size bombs?
Yeah. And what do you eat to poop out bombs?
I don't know. Sulfur, saltpeter, something?
Question for the ages. So I imagine Tadru picks up his bombos here, then probably heads into Turtle Rock. We'll see if he makes a play for Swamp after that, or does Meyer. We are on the hunt for that fire rod. Where is it going to be?
Not many places left it can be at this point.
Yeah, it could be the mushroom. Our first look at Swamp gives us 300 rupees. And I think that's it, because all we got is the compass.
Yep.
So it is not left side Swamp.
We know it's not the dig spot. We know it's not in K45. That leaves mushroom and ice. And the blacksmith chain. Nobody's done the blacksmith chain.
It's because nobody wants to do the blacksmith chain, because it's the worst. That's just my opinion, but I hate the blacksmith chain.
Well, they're probably deprioritizing it because we know that the purple chest is nothing.
Yeah. But I think you do it before you do Ice Palace, just because it's that much faster.
Yeah, that's exactly where Chex is going.
And then after that, you turn in the mushroom, then you head to Ice Palace. Just all those things are quicker than fully diving Ice Palace.
Yeah.
And Tadru learns that he can't complete Turtle Rock, so he's making his way towards Meyer.
Yeah, this is a good time for what he knows to do, Meyer. He's checked everything else. It beats going back into Swamp Palace to kill the boss.
And again, he's going to have to make those gambles to attempt to catch up to Chex. He doesn't know that he's behind, but he's got to feel a little bit behind. And those rollers are not making it easy for those hammer bake Chex.
Yeah, thankfully, Chex is going to bust out a minor glitch here, where it just keeps track of how many pegs have been hit and not which ones.
Yeah.
So we'll just do the first 2 rows again and get credit.
Yeah, that's smart. There it is. At 128.57, Chexhuman is in go mode.
Firesmiths all along.
So he gets to do go mode Turtle Rock, which is pretty much the same as regular Turtle Rock, depending on the key layout.
Yeah, at this point it's just going to be whether or not the big key's on the middle island.
Yeah, unfortunately for Tadru, he didn't pick up the bombos first. Else it'd be a little bit closer, because he could have taken down Cold Stare, but he still has to go back to Swamp Palace, and then he needs to make a beeline for the smiths. And one of the nice things about Randomizer is one of the rooms that has chain chomps is actually a little bit easier, usually, now that they're gone.
Yeah, but you get nasty things like chain chomps in the dark room with the Canis Samaria runner.
That would be funny. No rollers in this room makes this room a little bit easier as well. And there's our big key. So we should be able to skip laser bridge possibly here.
Yeah, depending on where the keys are, skip laser bridge, and maybe I'll even able to skip more, I think.
There is a chain chomp in Turtle Rock, just in a different spot. And it almost took a chomp right out of us. All right, where's Tadru going? Oh, he's going to go pick up his big key now.
Yeah, unfortunately, he checked the cutscene chest first.
Ah, that's unfortunate. So, Chexhuman going to steal a key here. Make his travel through Turtle Rock just a little bit easier. And this room can be a little hairy, as we see. Didn't want to get too close to that door and accidentally use that key.
Yeah, that would have been bad. So, key theft is a success. Unfortunately, Chex is going to have to go the long way around just to see if a second key can be found in either the big key chest.
Yep. But it's just a quick bomb jump through. Or, excuse me, just a bomb and walking through the wall. It doesn't take too much time, but it'll save time not having to do that laser bridge.
Definitely.
And he's rewarded with $300. As if the seed hasn't given us enough money.
Yeah. So, unless I'm mistaken, I'm 99% sure this has to be a key. Well, almost has to be a key.
I think if the other one was yeah, because if so, basically the key that he stole was just another key. So he didn't actually steal anything yet.
Yeah, so it was key for key in the middle chest, so he is going to have to unfortunately check laser bridge.
But should be no problem. He does have safeties if he needs them. Wow, what a spot for a chain chomp.
Like I said, I hate when they spawn in there, but I've seen it happen repeatedly. Now, Spike on this bridge is also bad.
Alright, first chest is just a compass. Next chest is our key. Do you continue on for the silvers? He does not. Chex doesn't need silvers. But were those bombs setting off that?
Yes.
Wow. The Hinox with one more troll. All right. You got one more prediction for the main dungeons. What's it going to be?
Landmo. Blind.
Unfortunately, just a little off. Maybe blind doesn't really change, other than you have a little bit more space to work with. So this should be no problem for Chexhuman.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest arenas, so it's nice to find something like this, just have all the extra room to work with.
And with that, Chexhuman picks up his 7th crystal, and he's going to make his way quickly to Tadaru. So we need to get a little game started. Can you explain the game for us?
Absolutely. So here we like to play a little game. It is the Ganis Tower Big Key guessing game. Guess the number 1 through 22 for the chest in the basement of Ganis Tower. Where is the big key? If you've donated at least 250 bits or are a subscriber to the Speed Game family and networks, your entry may be entered for a chance to be on the leaderboards. So get those guesses in, because we're going to shut you off just a second or so after we get in the tower.
It's quick. It's a quick one. Demon, where do you like to pick?
14.
I like to go Bob's chest. With the way the seed is going, though, giving us like the flute and the boots and everything super early, it was a little trolly with the last 2 rods, but I'm feeling maybe a 1 or 2, honestly.
Yeah, it could definitely be there. So we're going to shut this off right before he hits the basement to get your last second guesses in.
And Chexhuman goes left side. Give us our look at the first chest. Number 1 is a key. As he heads left. And this Ganon's Tower is always the most fun in Randomizer.
Oh yeah, there's always all kinds of nastiness in here.
All right, number 2, 20 rupees. Number 3, another key. Number 4, a piece of heart. We're going to get some Dark Magician strats with number 5, a compass. Chexhuman just a little eager to get upstairs. All right, number 6 is our mirror shield. Number 7, big 20. And do you think he continues on full right if he doesn't find it here?
Maybe. It's kind of a risk. I don't see a lot of people almost ever go full right anymore.
Yeah, I think that's the true Dark Magician strats. Okay, we get our look. Number 8, piece of heart. Number 9 is the big key. So, who do we have as our winner today?
We will see. Looks like it's going to be Illis24.
Illis24, who, if you watch the Speed Gaming dailies, you know his name. He runs those dailies a lot. Illis is a winner, that's for sure. All right, so Chexhuman going to make quick work of this room since there is no mimics here. And Tadaru going to get his revenge on Cold Stare in here. Finally be able to break open that cage of his.
Yeah, making really nice short work of that.
The Hinox's bombs causing a little bit of trouble there. As we see Chexhuman make his way through the gauntlet, and this could be fun. We could see some really trolly enemies here. So far, nothing too bad.
Yeah, even might be a little bit easier than normal.
And unfortunately, Tadaru is going to go left. Let's see if he picks up, if he just stops at the big key chest or goes left. But making the exact same plays as Chexhuman did, just a little bit behind.
Yeah, it's not that Tadaru's got bad routing by any means. It's just that making the exact same routing decisions as Chex has, just a little bit behind it.
Yeah, and having to come back to do swamp again, I mean, that's a pretty big time sink. And I gotta say, that was not a very trolly gauntlet, but we get our first look at Trinex, so it's a good thing we did find that ice rod.
Yeah, Check's gonna play it safe and take out the ice head first. Now, because this is Trinex, everyone's about to see something very, very interesting happen here.
Yeah, that firehead is really eluding him.
Huh. I thought that the despawn glitch that sometimes happens with Argus in this room also happened with Phase 2 of Trinex, though.
Oh. there you
However,
go.
the shell glitch does still happen.
There you go. And this is one of those rooms that's usually super quick in the regular gauntlet, but you gotta wait for these enemies here. And Ted, you're gonna pick up, I think, his $300. Yep. In Swamp, and we'll see where he heads next.
Check's just really on point with his hook shots on those shadows, just not having no problems. Almost a one cycle at worst every time.
That spike is in a very inconvenient spot.
Yeah, you could say that.
Chex just kind of stared at it for a minute like, well, what do I do here? You just gotta take a little bit of damage, I think.
Yeah, you just gotta suck up the boost and get through it.
So Tadru is gonna pick up his fire rod here from the smith chain and make his way to Turtle Rock. So he's not too far behind, but it's just gonna be too much, I think, for him to fully come back.
Yeah, at this point, he's about to pick up the fire rod, but he is pretty much a complete TR behind. TR and climb. It's oh look, it's a third Vitreous.
And there was no fairies in that last room, which you're used to refilling your life if you've got the powder. No fairies means no refills right before Ganon, but shouldn't be a problem for Chexhuman.
Yeah, Check's deciding just to get rid of all of his arrows. He realizes no silvers, no need.
And fills Vitreous full of arrows and is ready to move on. And Tadru, unfortunately, trying to get all those hammer pigs in one go and is rewarded with 20 rupees. We got a Pokey that's just killing himself, basically, on those spikes.
The Hokoboku committing seppuku.
All right. Chexhuman on to Aga 2. Let's see how fast he can take him down. That's 1. We need 6. That's a double.
Might have been a triple, but might have been too close.
Another single, 2 shots away. Not bad at all.
Yeah, that was really solid Aga 2. Alright, so Check's gonna be coming into his big pig fight. Got a blue pot, got a potion, or got a fairy rather. Red mail, lots of hearts. This should be pretty well academic. Is it the burrito? Please be the burrito. I want to get something right.
It is not. So no silvers, but won't be a problem for Chexhuman. Got tempered. Makes quick work on phase 1, gets quickly into phase 2, and should be on to phase 3 here in just a moment. Blink and you miss it. We're on to phase 3.
Yeah, luckily Gan is starting with a few teleports, so you don't need to worry about the fire bat shield.
And very few teleports. We're on to phase 4, so we're 12 spins away. And it looks like Turtle Rock did in fact have our silver arrows.
So they must have been on Laser Bridge. Wow.
Yeah. There was 2 chests left in Laser Bridge. And unfortunately for Chex, didn't find them. But again, he's going to be fine here. With just 12 spins. Ganon will go down.
Yeah, really solid silverless play here.
Yeah, and setting up to get 3 spins per cycle. Just missed it, I believe, on that one there, though. Just a couple more here. And there you go. Ganon is defeated. Chexhuman just a bridge cross away from completing. Go ahead and get your GGs in chat, and we will get you an official SRL time here in just a second.
Yeah, absolutely. Great game. Great, well-played game there by Chex. Nice and solid all the way through.
And Chexhuman finishes in first place with an SRL time of 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 12 seconds. GG's to Chexhuman. We'll see if we get Chex here for chat. See his thoughts on this Randomizer seed.
You know, the best part of Randomizer is the end credits being glitched.
Yeah, that is great.
So Tadaru's making his way through. Gonna go ahead, get the bag of Turtle Rock cleared out here. We'll have to see if he clears those last 2 chests and finds the silvers on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, that'll speed things up just a little bit for him. So, Demon, what did you think of the seed? It was actually pretty straightforward. We did have to do Aga, and the fire rod was hiding in a spot that wasn't the most fun, but overall it wasn't bad. What do you think?
No, it wasn't bad at all. We had access to the fire rod pretty quick. I mean, as soon as they had gotten the cape, really, and had Dark World access, they had the mids. It's just a matter of the way that they decided to do the routing. They didn't get to it for a while. I really think it was straightforward to give you a lot of opening early and nothing to really worry about. It was I hate it's an overused saying, but it was really somewhat of a jet seed.
Yeah, it really was. What is that thing in Kakariko there? Flapping its wings. That was odd.
It's a tectite chicken.
That was crazy. All right, we are joined by our winner, Chexhuman. Chexhuman, GG's.
Thanks, GG.
Tell us, what did you think of that seed?
I don't know. It was interesting to see that. Yeah, I mean, it was like it had different themes. Like it felt like the light world was completable, almost, and eventually, and then you had to beat Aghanim, and then you had to go to the dark world. But it just my route just didn't feel lucky, but I don't know, I got through it eventually.
Yeah, you guys actually routed really similarly. The big difference was Tadru went to Swamp before going up to Dark Death Mountain and getting the Bombos medallion. So he actually had to double dip Swamp, and that put him behind in a position that he was already a little bit behind in. So
okay, yeah, I was wondering if I would have to nope out of a boss room or something, and I was lucky that didn't happen with that Bombos grab.
Yeah, the Bombos grab really made a big difference. But overall, it was a pretty straightforward seed, don't you think?
Right, everything was waiting. All my last items were waiting for me, and the Village of Outcasts, Bumper Cave, and the Village of Outcasts. I get not really there, but the Smiths. And then Ice Rod was in Swamp, right?
Yeah.
So I figured that would come in handy.
Yeah, and it sure did. So let me ask you this. After you've completed Aga, you had a lot of different options, including Pod, which you didn't have the hammer for. What was your thinking going to Pod as opposed to maybe with the Village of Outcast Skullwoods area and routing it around to Hype Cave?
I don't know. It was there. I had the bow and the lamp. Village of Outcast was out of the way. And I was fortunate enough to get the hammer there.
Yeah, you ended up both routing that way. I just feel like, I'm an inferior runner. I might have gone trying to check out Hype Cave, which was, a big circle around. And I don't think Hype Cave really gave you much.
I don't think so.
No, there wasn't really anything in there.
Well, where was Ether?
Ether was in Hype Cave.
Yeah,
I think it was in Hype Cave,
Yeah.
So it was important, but not necessary at the time you got it.
Right.
So.
And the seed wasn't that trolly. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So Chex, last time I had you in here, you had mentioned that you really didn't like Randomizer. So sure enough, Tadaru ran it back on you. Anything else you don't want to see for the third race at all? Totally don't want to run?
Well, I said I liked it, but I'm just I'm kind of weak when it comes to fast combat. There's nothing I don't want to run. really. Yeah. So there's nothing I don't like, really.
You definitely put on a heck of a show in this seed. I mean, it was great watching just both of you run basically the same things, just the same thought patterns, and the optimal routing you guys actually did have. Because had you actually had that fire rod early and skipped that bottom chest and swamp, you might have been very sad once you got to the gauntlet.
Right. I wish I had put off Hera, but it didn't really matter. The trip to Turtle Rock and Hookshot Cave was a bit fruitless, so yeah, I don't know. I could have combined that into one big non-progression trip to get my Hera crystal, but yeah, it was tough.
At the same time, it made sense because it was a crystal, and prioritizing crystals at the time. You both you and Tadaru did the exact same thing. You guys' routing was very, very similar.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, we expected you guys to check Hype Cave, I think, right after Pod, but instead both of you went to the Death Mountain and completed Hera.
Yeah, but how would I check Hype Cave right up? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, right after Pod.
I'm sorry.
Right after Pod, you picked up the hammer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do we know? You literally both did the exact same thing. So, and it worked out. As Tadaru actually gets to face blind on the ice. That's a little fun.
Yeah, one reason I did.
She missed out on.
One reason I went with the stupid route, the Dark Magician J. Cooper route, is that it's like I don't have to the vanilla big key location is the last thing on the route. So if I can avoid fighting an enemized boss there, then all the better. How
do you feel you played this seed? Were you happy with everything?
Not the best ever, but I don't think I have any real complaints.
Yeah.
The Hinoxes were kind of funny. Hitting switches 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower. And
good.
then helping me out in Gauntlet. And then the bouncing pokies at the end is one of the funniest things I've seen in Randomizer.
Yeah, where they're damaging themselves on the spikes.
Yeah.
Oh, and Tadaru actually gets picked up by the wall. Oh man, that's unfortunate. I also think you ran out of arrows in one of the Armos fights. I think it was in the Pod, and so you had to just whack him with your sword. But
that was kind of dumb. I kept missing arrow opportunities.
And I'm pretty sure it took damage from the spikes though as well, so it actually sped that up a little bit. Yeah,
lots of enemies take spike damage, so that can be pretty helpful. Like if you fight Cold Stare in Mothula's room, you're gonna win in 2 seconds.
So that was actually fortunate, even though you ran out of those the arrows in that fight.
Yeah, it was so dumb. Like I think I missed a drop too. And then I noticed I had exactly 18 arrows, so I thought, oh boy, this is going to be a fun one. If I get Armos or something. And then I used all 18. But yeah, that was fun.
So this puts you at 9-5, and I think second in your group. How are you feeling overall?
Pretty good. It looks pretty hopeful for me at this point. So looking forward to expert mode. If I am lucky enough to play that.
Have you done any practice with expert mode?
I've played it a couple of times. It's pretty difficult. but I can handle it. I think practicing low percent will be a great help. And just low percent bosses and stuff. Yeah.
Gonna be interesting to see if Tadaru decides to take the safety room here.
So your last match will be against Tadaru?
Yeah. We still have to schedule it.
Yeah, you got plenty of time for that. You don't have to tell us what it's going to be. Do you have an idea of what you want to veto for it?
I'm thinking. I don't have an idea yet, really. Sometimes I've like Key Sanity makes Randomizer pretty flavorful. It's really a good addition to things like entrance shuffle and glitched modes, but by itself I'm not a fan of Key Sanity as much, so I tend to veto it, but it's not really strategic or anything. I don't know. We'll see.
From the sound of it, you don't care, honestly, right? You pretty much play anything.
Yeah.
And in your first match, what did you choose against Tadaru?
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was retro. I was using retro a lot.
Yeah, it was hard retro.
Okay. Yeah. So I've enjoyed those a bit.
So have you enjoyed this format for the tournament of doing all these different modes? As opposed to playing weeks of open or standard?
Yeah, absolutely. A Link to the Past is an amazing game, and I play the original game a lot, but there's a lot of enjoyment to be had in Randomizer. Although I do prefer entrance shuffle and glitch modes, like I mentioned, but this isn't the tournament for that.
Yeah.
Maybe someday we'll get an entrance shuffle tournament.
Yeah, I think so.
So you got your races out really quick. You were eager to get them all finished because we still have a couple more weeks left of races here.
Yeah, I was eager. I mean, I'm available, so I wanted to schedule it.
Yeah. And it worked out in your favor. 9-5 is a great record.
Yeah.
As Tadru makes his way through the first of the fire rooms in Gan's Tower, he pulled out his cape to handle the spike there. We noticed that when you got to that spike, you just sort of stood there for a minute thinking about
that was
what you wanted to do.
I shouldn't waste so many seconds on indecision there, but yeah.
Well, it was just kind of funny. It was such a weird spot for that particular enemy, you know.
Yeah.
I think also right before the final room, Vagus Tower, there was that walkway that had, I want to say, the fireballs and like the beam blocking your way. I think that time you just pulled out the cape and ran through them, but
right. I was lucky enough not to fall there.
Yeah, that was one of those situations where it's like, how do I get out of here? How do I get through this thing normally? And Tadger's taking on Vitreous one more time in the Moldorm 2 spot. Pulls out the cape and just goes to town. Oh.
He's
Does he
got a
still have his
fairy.
fairy? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cape was the way to go here. Since I had a blue potion, that's really fast.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, just like you, Chex, Tadaru did not check those last 2 chests on Laser Bridge and did not come away with the silver arrows.
Did he pretty much cancel everything out? Did he go to Ice Palace?
No.
Was there a hint?
No, there was no hint.
Ganon told us.
Gan told us it was in Turtle Rock. There's only 2 chests you didn't check.
Oh yeah.
And we get to see the
Yeah.
Pokey take itself out again. I gotta say, I really enjoy that.
Yeah. Of course, there was a hint at the end. Yeah. Sorry, I'm being dumb.
No, it makes. I mean, you're in go mode. There's no, the possibility of silvers being there are pretty slim. It makes sense not to skip it. And down goes Aga 2. Tadger going to make his way to Ganon here. And should be finishing up just shortly. And we get the glitch bat. Breaking his way through the pyramid. We should make mention as Tadger makes his way through Ganon, to give these runners a follow. Race wasn't as close as we hoped, but it was definitely entertaining, and they put on a good show for us. And while you're following people, make sure you follow our tracker today, mine and me, keeping up with all the craziness that's been going on. And while you're following people, follow Demon RHK here as well.
Yeah, also follow Fear Agent. Fear Agent's also in this tournament, and give him your love as well.
Big shout out to our tracker, minded me. Tracking is a very unsung job here in the rando community, but we got some great trackers. And there's our Turtle Rock hint for the arrows. As Tardy makes quick work of Ganon and is already on to the 4th phase, and 12 spins away from his completion. Something you had to really enjoy, Chex, was getting those boots and flute so early.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, I did this thing where I went to Mini Moldorm Cave right out of Link's house as soon as I got out of Kakariko. So
yeah,
I didn't even have to go to the dam. I could just get the flute and activate it. So that was nice. Yeah, I don't know.
I gotta say, I'm jealous
easy.
because most of them
yeah.
have been bootless for the most part. So I've had to walk around this entire tournament. So when I saw those boots in Link's house, I was quite jealous.
Right. I think in one of my tourney races, my opponent did not get the boots, but I did, and it caused me to do some extra checks.
Oh,
and
okay.
I did not really get anything out of them so late. I've other than that, the boots they've been so early. It's been crazy. And with my 3 races with Kyong, they were like always like an escape or something really early. It's pretty nice.
That is nice. And with that, Tadu finishes. Get your GGs in chat if you haven't yet, and we'll get you an official SRL time here in just a second.
Yeah, GG did Tad finishing that out as well.
All right. Tedru finishes in second place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 4 seconds. GG's to him. We'll see if we can get him in here. Yeah, that was a fun race. Randomizer always makes it fun for us viewers, not so much the runners. But, nothing too trolly, honestly, which was a little unfortunate for us viewers.
Yeah, to be fair, it wasn't too bad. I mean, there was only a couple of rooms that really stood out, like the hammer pegs having like 4 rollers, but the bosses were super nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you had one cold stare and 1 Trinex.
Yeah. And the rollers said, "No, go to the Smith's house for go mode."
Yeah.
Just ignore this completely.
All right, and joining us now, finishing second place, Tadaru. GG's.
Thank you.
GG.
Thanks.
Tell us what your thoughts about that seed.
Well, I mean, it really forced me to improvise at the beginning, like when I, got killed on the way to what was that first sword, so
Yeah.
I just used the Cane of Samaria. I thought I was being really crafty just in that room where I was using it and getting triple hits on the 3 enemies at once. So that was fun.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Moth taken down with the Cane of Samaria before, so that was interesting.
Oh yeah, and I honestly didn't know you could do that. And
Yeah.
I was right that it did fighter sword damage each time. I was gonna probably give up if 16 hits didn't kill her.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Right, I did Samaria, Moth, and my race with Trenter. It worked out.
It's been fun learning new stuff about this game, watching these different formats this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Another fun. This is just off the top. This is just a tangent, but one thing that's funny in the Randomizer is you could run into an Argus and not have a sword and not have a hammer, and you could still deal with it. Since the puffs can die to arrows and rods and stuff.
Oh wow!
Wow.
So overall, how do you feel about your play, Tadaru? I mean, you don't know this because you didn't get to see both of what was going on at the same time, but you guys' routing was really similar, and you actually weren't too far behind Chex. The big difference was you didn't have Bombos when you went into Swamp, so you had to actually double dip Swamp.
Yeah, that was probably the big stupid mistake I made. I just thought, well, why would I do Overworld when there's a crystal dungeon I can clear? Oh wait, I can't clear this crystal dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have played a bit of Randomizer, but I really think that's one of the places where kind of my lack of experience with these variations is starting to cost me.
This was your choice, so what was your thinking about choosing this mode?
So, just my thought was, Chex, I honestly overheard you in the interview after our first race. He said Randomizer was something he feared, so I figured, I better pick it. But I mean, even then, like, I can't make up the gap in that way, apparently. And just another thing is, I assume a lot of these runners have some NMG background, and I don't really, so Randomizer felt like it could be an equalizer in that way.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I did the same thing for my races.
Yeah, but even with everything, like we had said, the routing was basically a mirror of each other. It was just a little bit of the overworld checks and execution made caused a lot of the separation, as well as the double dip in the swamp. You know, they can't even fault you for that. It was like 80% chance you could clear it. Only 2 bosses would have stopped you, and it was really just solid running all throughout. Especially with as linear as it was, and just the fact of even being, like I've said before, even the fact of just being in this tournament puts you as like one of the better, you know, if not in the top echelon of LTTPR runners that we have.
Yeah, I definitely am psyched that I even made it into this group phase, and I'm getting all this experience just with tournament racing, which honestly feels like even different than just your average, like, daily race or weekly. It's a completely different mindset you got to get used to.
Yeah, it is a great experience. So for your third race, again, you don't have to tell us, but do you have an idea of what you'd like to veto for your race against Chexhuman?
I will say that I have a very simple algorithm in my head. It is basically just one if-then statement.
Well, we're excited to see what it's going to turn out to be.
Yeah, it's basically pretty set and done in my head as far as the options I'm going to veto. Like, I already know if he makes me veto first, I'm going to do this, and if he makes me veto second, I'm going to pick this. And yeah, I've got it all pretty much figured out to a T.
Awesome. Excited for that. And as I mentioned to Chexhuman, it was pretty nice opening those boots and getting that flute pretty early, right? You had to enjoy that for the seed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just the boots early on are always nice, and yeah, I definitely like high mobility seeds. It feels like those are ones I do better at in general.
Yeah, I think I was just jealous more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chex, tadaru, any last thoughts about the seed or the tournament overall?
No, I'm enjoying it. Thanks again for commentating. Yeah, thanks for the race.
Well, I know that by this point I'm pretty much out of it, so I guess I'm just gonna have fun with my remaining races.
Yeah, you gotta maybe upset some people. That'll be fun.
Yeah, like if I were to put up even one win against Kyung, I would feel like so awesome about that.
Like you won the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, even Chex can. So,
Yeah.
I mean, sounds like Chex is doing pretty well in this tournament overall. In general, but Kyung is tough, and I'm not expecting to win against him.
Well, I've got faith. You can do it, man.
Yeah, definitely. It all comes down to any given seed. Any given Sunday, any given seed, you never know what's going to happen.
Yep, well, I've got a match against Kyung tomorrow, or I guess later today, technically.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah,
Or
that's actually. going to do it for us today, for tonight.
Mhm.
What time is your race tomorrow?
It is at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Definitely one to watch out for. See if Tadaru can take out the Kyong. You hear that, Kyong? I see you there in chat. He's calling you out.
Oh, it's
Go for
on.
it. All right, well, that's going to do it for us here at Speed Gaming. We're going to wrap this up. Demon, it's been a pleasure doing comms with you.
And you as well, Fear. It's been a great time. Thank you, and thank you everybody for watching and keeping these two runners giving them something to do here. It's been a great blast being with everybody.
Yeah, it's been awesome, and it was a great race. So GG's to Chexhuman, GG's to Tadaru. Good luck in the rest of your races. Go ahead and give those guys a follow. They're great racers, and you can expect a lot from them in the coming weeks and months. And then we've got Demon RHK. Go ahead and give him a follow. Awesome guy. And our tracker, Mind of Me, follow them as well. You can also give me a follow. I am Fear Agent, of course. That's going to do it for us here at Speed Gaming, and the link to the past fall 2008 tournament between Chexhuman and Tadaru. We will see you at the next one. Good night, everyone.